I'm Steve Wilkins, former bootneck Royal Marines Commando of 24 years, now a clinical hypnotherapist and a life coach.
Welcome everybody, Russ McDonough, aka the Nomadic Veteran, and welcome to this week's video and episode 6 of the Vet Files. This week's guest, former bootneck Steve Wilkins. Now, I was lucky enough to work alongside Steve when I was a young Marine, and he taught me many valuable things, for which I'm truly grateful for. However, this week's story. The first part of the story, unfortunately, is not an uncommon one. Upon leaving the military, Steve was diagnosed with PTSD, or as he refers to it as, PTSI. And luckily for us, he sought treatment and he received the help he needed. The second part of the story is what's truly inspirational. However, I don't want to steal his thunder. Here's Steve.
I remember reading the books and magazines, you see the films, and I remember being in a careers lesson in the early 1980s at school, and we had to answer 20 questions on a form, and they put this into the massive old computer I used to get in the early 80s, and it spat out these results, and number 1 of 20 top jobs that I was offered, or what came out the computer, was Royal Marine Commando. As the young sprog, as you're called, in a unit, you've got to earn the respect of your peers, which does take time. But once you have done that, and you get in with the right crowd, then life's good. You've got mates for life, you do some great things, go out, you visit some fantastic places around the world, some absolute shitholes as well. I've done 7 tours in Northern Ireland. I was a bit of a Northern Ireland addict. Really enjoyed them, really, especially the urban, especially the West Belfast side of it. I don't know why. I was an urban kid growing up, so I loved to kick about the streets, and then to do it for real with a purpose. Really loved that. And then done quite a few tours of Iraq as well. Again, not so nice, but these things had to be done at the time. Don't regret any of it at all. I left in 2012. It was that time to go. After 24 years, I think, yeah, I've done my bit. It's time to move on to pastures new challenges, new life, and my body was starting to fall to bits as well. From bootneck to civvy, I found was quite difficult to transition. You're institutionalised for a long time. You're basically told what to do, when to do it, and how to act, how to dress. Coming out into the big wide world, and you're in control of your own destiny now. So that was, the transitional period was quite hard, I must admit. 2013, I've been out about a year. Plan A, B, C, D, E, F, it didn't work. Found it very hard to hold down the job. I was starting to see and feel, experience the demons, the dark side was coming up to haunt me, my past experience and about what I was experiencing in the present, and decided the best course of action would be to drink, and started drinking a lot, which didn't help anything. It compounds the problem. So I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress injury, and I believe it is an injury, it's not a disorder. I wasn't born with it. I learned to have PTSI. It's an injury to the brain, it's the unseen bullet. Yeah, and it's not a nice thing to have at all. The hardest thing was admitting to myself I had a problem. Once you do that, that's half the battle over. I sought help from the veterans charity at the time was Save Our Soldier. So in my case, they sent a coach to my house, and I thought he was some sort of wizard by what he did, the techniques he used, on how to basically to fix my injured mind. And he did this, and he turned my life from 180, absolutely fantastic. And I got so inspired by what he'd done and how he'd done it that I decided that that was the path that I wanted to take. I'd done some research, I found a provider up in Scotland, and started learning the courses to be a clinical hypnotherapist, a life coach, a neuro-linguistic programming master practitioner, a cognitive behaviour therapist, all these mega terms that you use basically now to help a client out who is suffering from some type of mental health problem. So now I've got my big invisible toolbox, I call it, and I can dip in and out when I see a veteran, a client, and every individual will have a tailored solution or solutions to them. And as I say, I just go into this toolbox and use hypnotherapy or the cognitive behaviour therapy, IEMT, integral eye movement therapy, a whole host of different therapies. So you're getting the product from the start and the problems, whatever they may have, and dealing with them and finding solutions to them mental health problems, whatever they may be, to afterwards see in the end result. That is the best feeling ever, knowing you've changed someone's life for the positive, and maybe even in a lot of cases have saved that person's life as well. Because I've been there, seen it, done it, so I know what I'm talking about, I know what it feels like, and I've got all of them t-shirts that we always used to collect as well. Hypnotherapy is great. Basically, hypnotherapy in itself is speaking to the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is 30,000 times more powerful than the conscious mind. Now, by getting someone into a really relaxed state, it's called a somnambulistic trance. Once you're in this trance, I mean, you're not asleep. It's nothing like what you see on the telly. You're not running around with your nicks on your head and pencils up your nose. It's a very relaxed state. You're not asleep, and we've gathered information before we actually have the hypnotherapy session. So we'll talk about what needs to be fixed, finding a solution, and we'll work on that when you're in this relaxed trance-like state. And in some cases, this can work as quickly as 1 hour on some people, and that can change their state like that.
What's the solution to bringing these numbers down of veterans committing suicide, and how can we stop this from happening, or at least bring those numbers down, shall I say?
Great question. Education to self-identify primarily in yourself, that if you've got any sort of problem, to speak about it, to talk to somebody, talk to a family member, a friend, a wife, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, one of your mates in the military, your corporal, your sergeant, your officer, your sergeant major, anybody. You've got to admit you've got a problem. That is the massive, massive step you have to take yourself. Please don't hold it in. You've got to get that help, which will probably come in the form of sick pay. I think they now need to be more educated themselves in how to deal with lads with PTSI or mental health problems. And it's not the old, oh well mate, let's go for a pint and let's get absolutely smashed. That is not the way to deal with it like we used to do. Not anymore. Advice: if you find yourself in a dark place where you think that there's no way out, there is always a way out. There is always light. Seek help. Don't be afraid. Ask for help. Help is there.
What advice would you give to family members and friends to somebody who is going through that? What can they do to help?
Empathy is a big thing. If you can try and understand what they're going through, why they're going through it, support them is a big thing. It's so easy to say, "Oh, just get over it," or "You'll be okay soon." That's not going to cut it, I'm afraid. Get them help. Get them to get them help. Themselves help. I'm always learning. There's always something new to learn. There's people to go to see, to help, to ease the burden on their life, to find the solutions to their life's challenges in all walks of life. No matter where you came from, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, no matter what job you're in or not, just do what you want to do, what makes you happy. I know sometimes that's easier said than done, but if you can wake up every morning with a smile on your face, then you are a success.
How awesome was that? And what an amazing job Steve is doing. I want to say a massive thank you to Steve for taking the time to chat to me. Now, we did sit down and have a bit of a longer chat where Steve went a bit more in depth with the struggles he went through and how he came out the other side. If you'd like to listen to that, I'll put the link in the description below. Before I wrap this up, I just want to say, if there is anyone out there who is struggling, whether they're a veteran or not, and you feel like you want to talk to somebody, I'll put a few numbers in the description box. Please reach out, people. There is, as Steve said, there's nothing to be ashamed of. And, the old cliche, it's good to talk. So please reach out. However, I'll wrap it all up. If you enjoyed the video, thumbs up, please. If you'd like to comment or share the video, please do. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Anyway, until next week, laters.